For TikTok or what?
I can put I post on TikTok. I post on mostly YouTube. I feel like I focus a lot on
Oh,
YouTube
okay.
now, but I do post on TikTok. I feel like I do more of my TikTok for my own personal music,
Yeah.
but for the interviews, I kind of focus more on the YouTube side. So yeah, like how have you been, dude?
Um, I'm chilling. I mean, stressed with what's going on in the world right now, but I mean, I'm just trying to, you know, be there for my people and be there for me.
Yeah, of course, dude. There's like a lot of stuff going on in the world. I feel like it's just never ending BS, especially with like, I don't know, the ICE thing that happened recently, like with the
Oh
woman that
yeah,
ran
dude.
over, or I don't know what was going on, but like obviously the woman's in the right. Like they had no right to like shoot that woman, but it is,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like the whole situation of like what's going on. It's just, it is what it is. Like we kind of have to, I guess, address these issues to make sure that they don't happen
It
again.
doesn't happen. Yeah.
Unfortunately, with the flawed human nature, it's just one of those things that no matter how much you push for it, like there's always going to be a push against it, you know,
Yeah.
which I don't understand personally. That's completely outside of the topic, but I don't understand how people would support the cop in that situation. But
Yeah, it's a whole the thing is like it really shouldn't have been a mess to begin with because
yeah,
I feel like it's pretty I mean we've all seen the footage from like 50 different angles. It's
yeah,
pretty cut and dry, but people are like intentionally making it a mess and making it like they're trying their best to cloud it so like they can justify basically like state sanctioned killing, which is fucked up.
but yeah, like a complete side tangent from the thing. I mean, the thing is, it's important to talk about stuff like this, you know, because there's so much
Yeah,
discourse about it, like online and stuff. I think it's so important to have like some level of critical thinking skills and like
for sure.
discern the different perspectives of every situation. Even the perspective that you don't personally agree with, you have to kind of see like, okay, why do they believe that, right? So you can like see, okay, maybe you're wrong at the end of the day, because sometimes that does happen. But for the most part, like you have to understand, like, oh, like there are some perspectives that are different than yours, and then you have to kind of like read into it and see why they believe that. And for the most part, I don't really do that, which is really bad. But
I think sometimes it warrants it, sometimes it doesn't.
yeah,
Sometimes it's just as clear cut as you can be. Like there are just some people that are in the wrong,
exactly.
and
And
like what they believe in, as far as like I'm concerned, is like I can empathize with the people who are basically like duped into like thinking the way they think,
yeah,
but like it's programming, right? Like you can always deprogram
one hundred
people with
percent,
that mindset. At the end of the day, it's never you versus me. It's always going to be us versus the people up top.
one
And
hundred
I feel like
percent.
people are always going to end up, or there are a lot of people who end up on like rooting against their own team in a sense. Like
Yeah,
the people who are actually like boots on the ground working day to day, like putting in the labor for these giant corporations, and they're taking the side of the corporations.
oh, one hundred
And
percent.
it all comes down to basically like this whole thing is all at the end of the day just like state sanctioned violence for the sake of like profit.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, nobody defends a billionaire more than a thousandaire. Like that's a real saying.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's a real thing. And
Yeah.
it's just like they're not on your team, right? Like they
A hundred
genuinely view
percent.
you as like
As lesser.
yeah, as like a machine that works for their grand scheme. You
Right.
know, like they literally view you as a bot, like an NPC. Like it's
Yeah. Straight
just
up.
like I don't understand why people are like, well, I can become a billionaire. Like, no, you're closer to being homeless than you are to a
Homeless.
billionaire.
Exactly.
You know, and it's just like I don't know. Like, there's so much things that are tied up against these people, and they just kind of use it in a way to like, oh, but I can be this. Like, I mean, here's the thing: they don't work for it. Like,
Right.
if you talk to like billionaires, like for example, a billionaire like Mark Cuban has said, like, it takes skill to be a millionaire, but luck to be a billionaire. Which there is some truth to that, right? Like you could, like I feel like a million nowadays is so much different than a million 30 years ago, because of
Oh
the
yeah.
nature of the economy.
Inflation.
And like
Right.
a million now, like where I live, is not that crazy anymore, because it's
Yeah.
like it's not what it used to be. But
I feel like you don't get to be a billionaire without exploiting people below you. you can be a millionaire off of your own back, sure. Like you can like make up, your own business. You can
Mm-hmm.
like do music and art and stuff and make millions of dollars off of your own back.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't get to like billionaire status without stepping on the backs of others. You know
No,
what I mean?
100%. Yes. Like it's just ridiculous, and I don't understand how
Yeah,
people like don't have that critical thinking level.
for sure.
But
Yeah.
it is a valued skill. I feel like especially today, like with the rise of AI.
Oh, for sure. Oh my God, dude, don't even get me started on
Yeah,
AI, bro.
yeah, with the rise of
Like
AI, dude.
everywhere I look, I at this point start like unfriending. Like I'll still check Facebook for some fucking reason, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll like it's just like a wall of AI slop, and I've been like unfriending and blocking people because like it's one thing to like post AI slop. I don't agree with it, but like
Mm-hmm.
there's one like thing to post AI slop and it just be like a meme, I guess. But it's another thing entirely to be like, oh, like look at this AI slop that I think is 100% real. Like you don't have like like the neurons aren't firing off in your brains like fast enough to pick up what this is fake, even though it's so fucking obvious. And I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel bad partly like for unfriending people so fast for it, but at the same time, like the world's moving so fast, I just cannot be like hanging around people and like teaching every single person to post AI slop, like spoon feeding them, like, hey, this is not good.
Yeah. And like it's just especially like I mean the thing is like I'm also studying finance, so like
Yeah.
the use of AI there is like pretty
Oh, brother.
insane and then plus
Yeah.
music. Like literally AI is affecting every single industry.
Everything.
Like every
Yeah.
single industry. Like that's not
For
like
like the worst, I think.
yeah. Like I was talking to my buddy who works in I think accounting and he's like, "Yeah, like I just input a bunch of my data that would normally take me like 3 hours to complete and like AI does it for me in like 30 seconds." Which is nuts, right? Like
That's
see
so scary. Like that your job's like on the line, brother.
yeah,
Like
like
you gotta fight for it.
he's like, "Yeah, that's dope." But I'm like, "Bro, like the second that these like corporations find out, dude, you're on the chopping block, dude." Like
Yeah, as soon as like they find an easier way to automate it, like your job's done.
yeah. And like the thing is like AI still has like a level of mistakes that it makes. As
Yeah,
soon
thank
as
God.
they figure that out, like it's over for everyone.
Yeah,
At that point, then everything's going to be automated. And like I'll see like
yeah,
even artists like like use AI to promote their music, you know?
yeah. No, it's tough to see that.
But yeah, speaking
I
of
feel like
yeah,
yeah.
go on, go on.
No, no, go ahead. That was it.
Oh shit.
I was just gonna start rambling.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point. I feel like a whole part of my interviews is that I just get people to ramble.
Yeah, I didn't
But
even know the interview had started already.
yeah, I mean I'm just like seeing what happens, you know? Like I'll throw
Yeah,
in a
yeah, yeah,
couple
for
things.
sure.
Like it's just like a pre-warm up kind of thing, you know? Like I
Yeah, yeah,
cuz I'm
yeah,
not going
yeah.
to just be
We're
like,
we're
"All right,
pre-gaming. We're
yeah,
pre-gaming
like we're pre-gaming.
the
I'm not
interview.
gonna be like, hello, like I don't know who you are, but what is question A,
Right.
question B, question C? Like, no, dude,
Yeah.
you know, like I have to get to know you more. Like,
No, for
you gotta
sure, for
test the
sure.
waters. You can't just cannonball into the pool. You gotta dip your
Yeah.
toe a little.
What are your thoughts on AI? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, exactly. And like because it's such like a discourse right now, especially with
Hmm.
AI, especially with music, and a lot of my content is geared towards music producers or like of that sort or of that nature. So it's like kind of
For
a
sure.
very important, I feel like, topic to discuss because
Yeah,
the livelihoods and like the hobbies and the whatever of many music producers are pretty much on the line. Like
100%.
something that we spent years like trying to perfect and create is basically being overrun by a two-sentence prompt, you know?
For sure. And I'm definitely like the I'm like the friend, quote unquote, the friend that's too woke about this kind of stuff. So like I will
Yeah.
100% just ramble on about this for hours, and I will just like start rabbit holing the stuff and how like dangerous it all really is in like several different layers. I just don't I don't want that to like take up the whole interview, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, of course. And like that's the thing like I feel like people that are active about what they care about, what they're passionate about the most is what makes these interviews so interesting because everybody
100%, yeah.
rambles about like their specific topic, you know? And like
Right.
being quote unquote too woke is not necessarily a bad thing. Like you just have like a different like you have a strong perspective on like certain topics than most other people, which I also align with personally. Like as somebody who
Yeah.
is active on discourse online, like I 99% of the time I'm usually siding with the woke person. You
Right.
know, like it's just kind of what it is. At the end of the day, like there's just like these situations that happen, and like how you stand on these certain situations really define you as a person. It's not even about being an artist, right?
100%.
Like there are
Yeah, it's
people,
about being a decent person.
yeah, like it's just about that. Like especially with the whole like Palestine thing that happened year ago, 2 years ago.
100%.
Like it's
It's
just
been
kind
going
of
on
like,
for like 80 years.
yeah, no,
Like,
it's been going around since like the 30s, you know?
yeah,
So it's
free
like that
Palestine.
basically. No, free Palestine, of course. It's just kind of like things like that happen, you know, where either people
Yeah.
stand with you and like actually take a discerning opinion, or
Mhm.
people will pretend like they don't know anything about it and like refuse to learn anything about it, which is just plain
Yeah.
ignorance. Like, oh,
And
like
that's
I
like
don't know.
the key word is pretending, because at this point, like it's so well documented that you're like
Yeah,
actively like looking the other way if you are
yeah,
not speaking out about it.
yeah. Oh, no, exactly. And like there was like this quote that I read where it was like, um, it's not about the bad people that are this like the reason of society's collapse. It's about the good people that don't say anything. And it's like
Yeah,
it's just like a good
it's a good quote.
representation of like like what happens whenever like serious situations like this happen online. And the thing is, like people try too hard to I guess be a people pleaser, especially
Mhm.
online. And I think like I also kind of suffer from that sometimes, where like I try to be as much of a people pleaser as possible, but the thing is like someone's gonna get mad, right? Like
Yeah,
I think at
yeah,
that point, like you just have to take a strong discerning decision. Like you know deep down what's right.
right,
You know,
exactly.
like you know deep down what's right. Like someone's gonna be mad. Like fuck them, right? Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I mean, whatever side of the line that you're on, people are going to be pissed off about. And I feel like I wouldn't be able to live with myself if because even staying silent, like you said, like staying silent is just as bad as anything. So like I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't at least like say something. And I feel like saying something is like the fucking like bare minimum.
it is the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I agree. And like there are like so many situations that happen, especially with the whole I mean, I live basically near LA, and we were
Yeah.
basic like we are like a big area for a lot of the ice raids. Like I'll see like
Right.
a lot of vans pull up like in neighborhoods that border mine, and like more
Yeah.
like Mexican heavy neighborhoods, and like you'll
Mhm.
see like literal ICE agents patrol the area, and like they know like what neighborhoods to patrol, and it's just so crazy to see
Yeah, it's
that.
profiling.
You know, it is. It's definitely profiling, and it's
Yeah.
like you
It's
have
scary.
no authority to do that. And I'll see people online like from my like hometown like post about ICE, and I'll like talk to them about it and be like, hey, like I saw the van like at this like this grocery store or whatever. Like it's just
Right.
like I don't know. It's just I don't agree with it like at all.
Yeah, me neither. I'm from South Texas on the border, basically, in the Rio Grande Valley.
Mm-hmm.
So like literally 5 minutes away from Mexico, and it's like really, really. I mean, that's where I'm from, and I just moved up to Austin a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But in that time, it's like really crazy to see how like militarized my hometown has become because it's right on the border.
Yeah, yeah, those border
So
towns are definitely getting a lot of heavy activity from ICE and stuff. Even the sanctuary
yeah,
cities, which is super nuts.
yeah, and it's only gonna get worse, especially if this administration is like, and it seems like they're dead set on they're talking about like invading Greenland and stuff. They're already talking about boots on the ground in Mexico. Like it's gonna end up being getting way worse on the border towns.
Yeah, no, it's so bad. I think there's a lot of like reactionary stuff, which I don't understand. Like
Yeah.
especially like here's the thing, I have a pretty strong like economic financial background, right? And
Right,
like with
right.
the administration imposing tariffs on like countries like China and stuff, I'm like, dude, we haven't even like improved our manufacturing one bit, right?
Well,
Like
and like, going in an economic war with like the second largest like economic superpower in the world,
yeah.
who like correct me if I'm wrong, like our economy like heavily relies on China, and you're gonna like basically sever that tie.
No,
Like
exactly. Like it's so dumb.
you're fucking up the economy on purpose at that point.
No, I know, and that's why like things are getting more expensive because we're just tariffing other countries for like quote
Yeah,
unquote no reason. And then the thing is, he's like, well, they tariff us. I'm like, bro, like we don't even have the capabilities to tariff them back. That's why they tariff us, right? Like
right.
they have such a strong manufacturing background. Literally, like look at every empire in history. What causes their fall is that literally they don't run manufacturing anymore. Like the UK, the British Empire, why it was so strong was because they had the Industrial Revolution and basically they ran all manufacturing.
Yeah,
Like that's why the British Empire it's and also partially because of imperialism, right? Because like, well, if you're
yeah,
running manufacturing, where are you getting those raw resources from? Like Britain has nothing,
yeah.
like you have to get it from somewhere else.
You're siphoning off from other places. You're basically yeah, it's just imperialism.
100%. And then after World War II, we ran manufacturing, right? So we
Right.
ran all the planes, we ran all the tanks, we ran all the plastics, we ran everything. The United States had a humongous manufacturing industry between the 20s to like the 60s, I'd say 70s.
Mm,
And then around the 80s is when China started to like really catch up. Like after Mao Zedong took power, right? And like
right.
really flipped the country and unified it. Like I am not a communist in any shape or form. I like to see how other nations like behave. I mean, if you
Mm.
look now at the statistics of China, they have the most busiest ports in the world. So they're active.
That's insane. That's
Yes.
insane.
Yes. Like that alone should be enough to worry like the United States.
It should be a call to action for us
Exactly.
to try and keep up, but instead we're like so hell bent. Not we, like this administration is
Yeah.
so hell bent on like just not. And
Greenland.
the thing is, I can't even say it's this administration because it doesn't take it doesn't take 4 or 5 years
Yeah.
to not catch up. It's been going on
Yeah.
since, like you said, since the 80s, and like there have been people all across the political aisle that have been in charge, and we've still like not put our foot down
Hmm.
and like put the step on the gas for us, and to try and catch up with China. Instead, we're so focused on imperialism, like you said, trying to outsource everything that we can to maximize profits, and like meanwhile we have like no means of manufacturing.
Exactly. That's why like I feel
It's all
genuinely like
colonialism.
yeah, no, like that's why whenever I see something that's like made in the USA, like I'm more inclined to buy it. Even though I don't
Buy it.
support the administration, like I do support like the smaller to medium businesses. Like I will definitely
Yeah,
like
100%.
buy something more like made in the USA. And like the thing is like we have only one of the top 20 busiest ports, which is in Long Beach, right? And then the other
Right.
the other one is located in Jebel Ali in the UAE, right? And then the
Mhm.
other ones are literally all in China. Like you have Shenzhen,
Insane.
Shanghai, Tianjin, Fujiao, like all of these coastal cities, like have the craziest ports, and like they're running the world. Like they basically own the Middle East, Africa, and like the rest of Asia. Like
Yeah.
the Chinese companies. Like for example, when BYD released a car that was like $7,000,
That's
America
insane.
immediately tariffed the shit out of that. They're like, hell no, we're not letting that come into that country because who isn't gonna buy a $7,000
Yeah.
car?
Same with the iPhone competitors in China. You're basically getting a fucking supercomputer in your pocket for a fraction of the price of an iPhone, and
Yeah,
immediately Apple started lobbying to not have Apple competitors from China, imported into the US.
yeah, like the Huawei's.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, dude,
exactly.
those are
Yeah,
nuts.
I forgot what they were called.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those phones are nuts, dude. Like they're
yeah.
actually really, really good. And like the
I've seen
reason,
them.
like yeah. Like
Not in person, but you know what I mean.
I've seen one in person. Like one of my buddies from
Oh, for real?
back in the Middle East, like has one, and he like came
That's
over and like
crazy.
he showed me. Like it was just super nuts. I was like this phone capabilities
Puts the
wise
iPhone to
is way
shame.
better. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like the iPhone hasn't really changed in the last like 8 years. Like not really since like the iPhone 6.
Yeah.
So it's like
I feel like at this point I need to just get like I always wanted a sidekick, so I'm probably just gonna get like a T-Mobile sidekick and then
yeah.
just do like all my social media stuff on the computer.
Yeah, it's just it is what it is, dude. Like it
Yeah.
like as an American, right? Like this is me speaking as an American. The fact that we have spent zero resources like improving our manufacturing industry, it's going to be the end of the United States.
Oh, for sure.
Like that's
For
what's
sure.
gonna
It's already been on the decline.
yeah, and like that's what's killing us. We're too busy like competing for second place, like with
Yeah.
AI, with whatever. Like AI is not manufacturing; it's a service industry that anybody can do, right?
Which is all circular anyway. Like it's all like the
Yeah,
same like fucking four companies just pouring into it and like just exchanging the same 20 bucks,
exactly.
in a circle. But also like I mean it comes down to capitalism, right? Like
It
the
does.
reason why we don't manufacture in the US is because it's more expensive and the reason why we are outsourcing is that way larger corporations they are trying to get the cheapest means of production possible to maximize their profits
Yeah,
and in the long sure like obviously within their lifetime they're fucking making insane amounts of money, lining their pockets to the brim. But long term, like look at where it's gotten us.
yeah. And like I understand, like, I mean, I don't understand the billionaire's perspective, but I understand like why they did what they did because they want to just get rich, right? It's
Yeah,
just
it's
way
greed.
cheaper to manufacture and outsource. Like we outsource all of our services to India. We outsource all of our products from China. Like it's just like
It's just greed,
it is, and it's just like
flat out.
crazy. All right, bro. All right, let's
Yeah.
let's start the interview. It's already been half an
Yeah.
hour.
Damn. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, like we can talk about this for hours,
No, I
bro.
know, and like I just like I nerd out about this because like I do love this country, right? Like
Yeah.
I do
No,
want
same.
this country to improve. And
To
like
prosper. Yeah.
the thing is about like a lot of these like the hard right people, they're like, "Oh, well, you don't love this country." I'm like, "Not at all. Like I love this country." But like
Dog,
part
I
of
love this
loving
country more
something,
than you probably,
yeah,
cause
and
like
like part of loving something is to want it to improve, right?
exactly,
And
exactly.
like when you call out these things that like are a clear issue in the country. Like there are clear societal problems, there are clear economic problems. Like we've been in a recession since probably 2023, 2022, and like
Yeah.
it's just like there are clear issues that no one is talking about.
Right.
And I
Or you get yelled at by the right
yeah.
for talking about it.
And the thing is, it's just that the people on the right are just too comfortable in my opinion. Like they're the ones that are actually profiting off of this in a way. But at the same time, like not all of them are, you
No,
know?
there's a lot of rural Americans who are like, pretty far to the right, if not, straight up alt-right,
Yeah.
who are like basically doing, they're like professional bootlickers at this point. Like
Yeah.
you're like the thing is that they are very they what you said about, like they say that we don't love this country when like in reality, like I probably love it more than they do
Yeah.
because I don't want it to fall to fascism and I do want, my fellow Americans to be able to have a meaningful, comfortable, happy, fulfilling life
Mhm.
without having to worry about if I break my arm, am I gonna have to fucking take out a second mortgage on the house?
Oh,
If I
100%.
get sick, like that's the end of me financially,
Yeah.
or like being able to afford an education or put food on the table or not worry about if I don't pay rent in 2 weeks, I'm gonna be on the streets.
Yeah. No, I
I,
totally agree with you.
yeah,
And
and
like,
it's just it's heartbreaking that like I'm being accused, we are being accused of not loving this country when in reality we're fighting hard for it.
yeah, we are. And like, I've kind of been on the blunt end of like, especially with the whole like medical thing. Like, I've had cancer before, and because of that,
Oh,
like, there was,
sorry.
yeah, it's okay. Like, I don't really talk about it that often, but like when I do, there is like a reason for it. Like when I went through this, like, thank God for my insurance, by the way. Like, thank
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
like Um, dude, if it weren't for my insurance, it would have ran me $950,000, which is
Jesus.
ridiculous
Fuck
for
Christ,
that.
bro.
Like $1 million
Oh my
just to
God.
be alive, you know? And like I'm
I'd rather
genuinely
die.
blessed. Yeah, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like
$1 million is insane,
yeah,
bro.
and like when I started talking to like my friends who live back home, like back where I'm from, and like they
Hmm.
talked to me about like because they had people that have had the similar like issues, and it's like
Hmm.
a fraction, like not even I think a fraction would be a dishonor. It would be like pennies, you know, like it's
In
just
comparison,
yeah,
that's crazy,
and
bro.
it's just like so crazy to me. Like there is clearly like a problem with like the healthcare system here as well. You know, like
100%.
when I would join chat rooms while I was going through chemo and like talk to people who have because it's like kind of weird because of at my young age, like going through chemo, and like I would
Yeah.
talk to people and they're like, yeah, like I was like diagnosed at like stage 3, stage 4, or whatever. I'm like, oh, like why didn't you go earlier or whatever? And they're like, yeah, I noticed it, but I literally couldn't afford to go to the doctor. I'm like,
And
damn.
yeah, you just can't afford it. You just cannot
I'm like,
afford to live, which is insane to me.
I'm like, damn, like that, like I think that changed something in me, you
Yeah,
know?
I think the people who don't really I don't want this to sound like too like mean or like too like I don't know, like meme-ish, I guess,
Yeah,
but people who don't go outside are often the people who have not been radicalized yet.
yeah.
They're like too busy in like their like echo
It's
chamber
like
and
a
like their little
bubble.
bubble.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cause like you talk to people on the street who are not, your literal next door neighbors. Like, you talk to people and like you hear their experiences and you hear something like your story. How can you not be radicalized?
yeah.
You know?
Like there
How can
should
you
be,
not be
yeah. Like there should be
you,
more of a
you,
push to like make healthcare affordable. And I can't believe
for
like
sure?
it's not, you know?
A hundred
Like there should
percent.
be at the very least like a huge amount of subsidies from the government to healthcare. Like do you not want your citizens to live, you know? Like I don't know.
Exactly, bro.
And it's just so
I don't know, but
crazy to me whenever I see stuff when it comes to like healthcare and like all of that. Like I don't understand it like at all.
I forgot the guy's name. There's a guy, I mean, super young. He was like 20 something. His name was like Cole like Schmidt something. And he had to choose between paying rent and paying for his inhaler because his inhaler
Oh, I
got
heard
bumped
about
up
this.
overnight. It
Yeah.
used to be like a couple like 30 bucks, 40 bucks, 80 bucks, and then it got bumped up to like 600 bucks almost, I think.
Yeah.
And he had to choose between paying rent and living. And he chose to not be homeless, and then he ended up dying.
Yeah,
Like
that's
how can you not be radicalized with something like that? How can you just like hear that story and not feel like just utter like disgust in our system?
yeah, no, there's a clear problem in the healthcare issue. And the thing is like I'm on like the side that's like that like I guess in a way benefited, right? Like I only had to pay like 9 or 10 grand out of the 950, right? Like which
Yeah,
in the
you should be
grand
paying
scheme of things,
zero
like I should have paid zero. Like obviously I should have paid zero, but in the grand scheme
right?
of things, like that's insane, right? Like it's just
Yeah, you
900.
definitely got you definitely got lucky, but like I don't know, man. Not I mean not really lucky because I mean you're
Yeah.
still having to pay for this treatment, right?
No, 100%.
But like still, it hearing like, oh, I only paid 10 grand out of the million that I was about to pay,
Yeah.
like you should have paid nothing.
Yeah.
We as a collective should have free healthcare.
We should.
And I'm sorry that you had that experience.
No, it's okay.
Truly,
But like that's what like made me change, you know? Like that's why I started
for sure.
like talking about like healthcare and stuff to people because they're like this is an issue. Like the thing is you don't think it's an issue until it happens to you. Eventually you're going to run into some sort of health issue. Like that's just like life,
Exactly.
right? And like
Right.
people don't really understand it until it happens to them. And I learned it the hard way. Like I didn't really understand it until I had to go through it. I mean, I was never like ignorant about it. Like I understood it, but I never really understood the weight of it until that happened, right?
Right.
And it's just like one of those things where it's like you kind of like it does change you. Like I don't know how to
For
I don't know how to
sure.
describe it.
No, I mean it's usually takes until it happens to someone for them to realize how fucked up something is,
Hmm.
like you said, right?
Yeah.
It shouldn't have to though, but people, like, some people just don't have that empathy for others to where like they can get ahead of it and start fighting for it before it happens to them.
Yeah.
And it sucks that it has to get to them. It shouldn't have to get to them, and they shouldn't have to go through similar experiences for them to realize that what is going on is wrong. At the end of the day, left, right, center, I'm trying to fight for my fellow Americans. I don't care if this dude over here he hates my guts because I'm LGBT, because I'm Latino, because this, that, or the other. I'm going to fight for him to not have to fucking pay $1 million because he has cancer.
Yeah,
That's
it's
insane, you
stupid.
know?
It's
And
actually
he
stupid.
he having a lack of empathy, I firmly believe that people like on the right genuinely like they either are not fully educated to what is going on, not like a formal education, but just, they're not privy to the things that are happening because they're in their bubble,
Hmm.
or they have a just general lack of empathy. And I know that people on the right usually will not end up advocating for me the same way I'd advocate for them.
Yeah, no, they the thing it's just like it's just again ignorance, right?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
thing is it's like people on the right were like, well, why don't like liberal people be friends with us? Like we're always friendly with them. I'm like, that's not true at all.
So
Like
much for the tolerant left. Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
I'm like that's not even true
It's
at
so
all. Yeah,
frustrating.
like
Yeah.
and it's like
It's also go ahead, go
it's
ahead, go
just
ahead.
like yeah, it's just like ridiculous. Like you're advocating for the prejudice and discrimination of minorities like brown people,
Exactly.
black people, LGBT, whatever. And it's like, and then you're expecting me to like treat you like a human being. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
like this isn't like a one-way street, dude. Like you fight for me, I fight for you, right? Like
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
like part of being an American is like to make sure that other Americans are safe regardless
Right.
of what they do or how they act or who they love. Like what is that, why is that even a question, you know?
Yeah.
Like, why is this even a
It's
debate? Like, oh, somebody else likes men. Okay, how does that affect your life?
it
You know?
it all comes back down to, and this is why when I say like I'm like the friend that's too woke,
Yeah.
it's all like just so division amongst everyone in like the lower and middle class. So that way the people up top with the most power, they don't they don't have to worry about, oh, now they're focusing their attention on us, they're focusing their attention on each other, so they're blind to what we're doing, they're too busy fighting each other about race, sex, gender, religion, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
So they're just basically like causing that division to divert attention away from them so that way we don't reach class consciousness. That's what like it all comes down to, not you versus me. It's always us versus them up top. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Exactly. It's like what happened with like the Venezuela thing. We like kidnapped Maduro to like
Yes.
avoid talking about Epstein.
Yeah.
Like,
And the thing is that like I don't even want to say it's like to like not talk about Epstein. I think it all comes down to this dude just really thinks that he can get away with anything,
yeah.
and it's not even like a plan to like divert attention. I genuinely think that it's just like he said it himself in like his first election cycle, right? He
Hmm.
was like, if I stand on Fifth Avenue in the middle of New York and I shoot someone, no one would care. And he's telling us who he is.
No, he
I
is.
don't even think he's trying to divert attention. I think he's just saying like, y'all are gonna let me do whatever I want anyway.
Yeah. And
So
like,
just let me do whatever I want.
yeah, and then here's the thing, like Maduro was not a good person, right? Like I have to make
No,
sure
no,
like
no.
that's clear. But at the same
Yeah.
time, like as like the United States had no authority to do that. Like as a
No,
foreign,
100%.
yeah, and like as an like an Arab person, right? Like we all saw, oops, we all saw what happened in Iraq, right? Nobody likes
Did you say
Saddam.
oops?
Like bro got swept off, and
Yeah.
like now what? You know, like it's just like I think now like after what 20, 30 years, it's like no, it's been since 2003. So like now it's starting to
20
get
something.
better. But like
Yeah.
dude, like they spent 15 years in like literal confusion. Like just power
Yeah.
vacuum after power vacuum. And then I'm Syrian, so like the Syrian civil war happened and then
Hmm.
ISIS happened and it's like
That
nothing.
is like that's the game plan for America, is to like go in, like extract resources, extract people in power to destabilize the region so that way they can go in and like perform straight up colonialism. Like
Yeah.
it really is just like the imperialist playbook,
100% politicians,
the
bro. Like
government.
I don't trust a single one of them. You know,
Yeah.
like not a single one of them. Like I don't know. There's just something sus about the whole thing.
Yeah. 100%.
All right, man. Let's get started with the interview.
Yeah, for sure.
Holy shit, dude! It's been 41 minutes. Just fucking ah.
Politics.
No, but it's like okay, but these are things that I feel like need to be talked about, right? Like, because
Yeah,
like
for sure.
the thing is like
Now, oh, just that like now like there's no, we know where we stand and we're not gonna
yeah.
be like tiptoeing around like, oh, I hope I don't say the wrong thing to piss this person off.
No, yeah, and the thing is like I feel like it's hard to piss me off. Like even if
Yeah.
like let's say you say some like incredibly conservative take, like I'm not gonna like
Mhm.
be reactionary I think it's
Yeah.
important. I think that's what people need to be, is they just need to be like level-headed, right? Like
Hmm.
there's like a lot of people who are just super reactionary, like all emotion, no logic. And this goes on both ends of the spectrum, like both right and left. And it's like I think in order for your point to have any kind of weight, like you do need like a lot of logic, right?
Yeah,
Like
you
if
need to
I'm
come at
like,
things with like a level of reason,
yeah,
and like you can't get your point across if you're screaming.
exactly. And like that's what like a lot of like again with the whole like online discourse, like it's just so reactionary and such a
Yeah.
waste of like everyone's people's time, like in my opinion, that it's just like if you're not getting like a fact across from point A to point B, then it's just literally pointless. You're just wasting time on social media. Like the whole point of
Yeah.
like discussing politics, religion, etc. online is to like you need to make sure that like when you come into a discussion or an argument, you have factual basis. Like
Right.
it's like that's super important. Like I'm talking about like my personal experiences, for example, with the healthcare issue. I've talked
Mm.
about personal experiences of being from like a war torn country. Like these are personal experiences that like I've been through. Also, plus like I read and research online a lot, right? Like okay, like
Right.
if you were to ask me like, oh, where's your proof? Where's your stats? Like I'm gonna look it up online. And if it's
Yeah,
like
you have the facts are on your side.
exactly, and it's like you have to have multiple sources kind of side with you, because if it's just like one source and it's like sus, like
Mm.
I think it's just kind of just general rule of thumb for people who are into arguing and making arguments or debating. Like I
Yeah.
think it's super important to have that, because like
Yeah.
people are going to question you, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna get like my statistics from like
PragerU.
americasucks.net. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I'm gonna get it from like factual, like peer-reviewed studies and stuff.
Yeah. No, that's just like
But
yeah, exactly. Like there has to be like some sort of academic level of like research.
yeah. And the cool thing about the cool thing about being on the left is that the numbers are on our side, the data is on our
It
side.
always
Like
is.
it always is.
And that's why we're left leaning, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly. Because we
statistically,
got
it makes
critical thinking.
sense, you know?
Exactly. Like talking about critical thinking, if you have like an ounce of critical thinking, like it's so obvious. Like anything on not on the left is like against you.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. If you're not like a billionaire, you're like, it doesn't make sense to be right wing,
Right.
you know?
Exactly.
Like if you're a billionaire or affiliated with a billionaire and you're right wing, like I'm not gonna I don't agree with right wing like people, but
Yeah,
like
but I
I
get where you're coming from
understand.
because you're
Like I
yeah,
understand,
you're
okay. I
you're
understand why
looking
you're
for
right wing.
your pockets. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay. For real this time.
Yeah. All right. All right. Let's talk music, man. So, like
All right.
whenever it comes to like posting stuff online, like what is like
Mhm.
your biggest inspiration when it comes to your current aesthetic?
I don't know. Because I don't really feel like I post enough online. Admittedly, I need to do better about like content and stuff.
Mhm.
But I think that like in general, the same thing that like most people within like my genre or like adjacent genres tend to like lean towards is like 90s like Y2K kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But like very specifically for me, something about like old like print media,
Mhm.
like old print advertisements that you'd see in like Game Informer or something like that, or like just old magazines,
Mhm.
and then something about like CRT screens. Just I guess it's just like less about like the actual visuals of Y2K and more the textures of Y2K.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Seeing like the graininess in like in print media, like seeing like the CRT, like the lines
Mhm.
and like the way screens glow. I don't know. Something about it is just very like beautiful to me,
Yeah.
and I try and like keep that in mind whenever I make anything. I mean, if I'm shit posting, like I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
But if I'm like making my own edits, I always try and add like at least some level of those textures in like what I'm making,
Yeah.
because I feel like it's very specific to my idea of what that aesthetic is. It's not even like the general like composition of shots or like something about old ads and old screens,
Mhm.
specifically those textures really resonate with me.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. Like it reminds me of like like Sony ads from like the 2000s or whatever. Like
Yes,
that
yes,
super
yes.
yeah, like that Y2K-esque kind of style.
Yeah.
Super I love that stuff. Like I love when ads used to be fun, you know?
Yeah, dude, I was just thinking that I watch wrestling, right?
Hmm.
And on HBO Max, and I'll like just sit there and watch these ads, and I'm like, dude, these are like the same four ads every like commercial break, and they all suck.
Yeah,
If it was at least in the 2000s, like I'd be more inclined to like pay attention to them because
yeah,
there were more like variety in the ads, and they were actually like fun and
yeah.
funny and well written
Hmm.
or like creepy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there was like a level of art to it. Like it used to be like some.
Yes.
Now it feels like AI slop corporate bullshit. You know, like it's just
A
like
100%. Oh my God, dude! I see AI commercials like left and right now, and it's
I
crazy.
know,
It's gross.
dude. It's just super crazy, and it's like so bad. Like why? Like you have the money to make a good
Yeah,
ad.
you literally have millions of dollars, and you're going to like AI generate like a fucking like ostrich in a car, like getting mad at a stoplight or something like that. Like I don't know. I'm talking about progressive. I hate that fucking progressive commercial.
Yeah,
It's not to like drop names, but fuck it. Like whatever.
yeah.
It's
No,
just
who cares, bro? Like whatever.
yeah.
Like I haven't seen that progressive commercial, but dude, like,
It's
dude, ads
ass.
used to
It
be good,
cheeks.
bro.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so that's what I have, ads in my room right now hanging up from like that era. I have like a wrestling ad and like clothing ads. I have Jinko ads like right by like where I get ready every morning.
Hmm.
Like I something about that really like I don't know, I think it's beautiful. Like those textures are really beautiful. It's just so like grounded. Like they really like you can feel whenever people put their hands on something.
Yeah, like you can tell, like okay, like there was definitely some thought and like
Yeah,
in this. You know, I don't. I feel like
right.
ads now, like they're just not as exciting. You know, and this is somebody
No.
like I love marketing, I love advertisements, and I love watching
Right.
ads, right? Which is like a
Right.
rare minority of people. Like I actually, like, whenever I watch an ad, I like to kind of like study it, like see
Yeah,
like
you lock in.
yeah, I like lock in. I'm like okay, like this is so like fucking bullshit, but it's like I love like the Super Bowl ads. I like to see like they've been on a huge decline.
Oh, yeah, because like they actually like put their whole like
Yeah,
attention into those ads. So like you're assuming that you're gonna end up seeing the best of the best as
yeah.
far as like what they have to offer. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just gotten like real slop coated.
No, exactly. And like the fact that last year, like the best Super Bowl ad was just Kanye in a dental chair, like fucking
I don't
yapping
even
about some random
remember.
shit. Like that's
I
just
don't even remember, bro.
like that's the only one I remember. You know, all the other
Yeah.
ads were just so bad that like I don't know. And like there was like that one there I remember there was like this one QR code like that
Hmm.
was literally played for like 10 seconds that was smart, right? Because that was kind of like the only ad that like okay, that stood out, right? It
Right.
was
And it
literally
was
like
just a QR
it was
code.
literally just a QR code. Like
Huh.
everyone scanned that shit. I think it was like was it Coinbase? It was one of those crypto companies.
Oh man.
I don't like crypto because I think it's
Yeah, me
like
neither.
low key gambling, but it's like
High key.
yeah, dude, if you want to make money, just throw it in an ETF, bro. Like finance nerd here, just do that, bro. Like
Right.
people are like, oh, but it's slow gains, 10% a year. I can make 1,000 in a day. I'm like, you can also lose 1,000 in a day. With an
Yeah.
ETF, you know that shit's going up. Like, just
Right.
put it in an ETF. Anyway, not financial advice, but I'm just
No,
saying.
I'm writing it down right now, actually.
Oh, no. But just not financial advice. I have to say that because if somebody loses money, I'm liable. So not financial advice. I have to make sure that's very fucking clear. But
Okay.
yeah,
I'm
so
erasing it. I'm erasing it.
but yeah, I mean, it's just like ads used to have texture. They used to have like weight. Like they used to have something. You know, like
Right.
people actually used to watch the Super Bowl for the ads. People say that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and I'm not a
Yeah.
super avid like American football. I like like soccer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like American football is like some different. But, like I'll watch it because like a lot of my buddies watch it, but it's just that's it, right?
Yeah, it's going back to like people used to watch the Super Bowl for the ads. Like I was never super big into football, but I remember I would sit down and lock in for the ads or
Yeah,
like the at least the halftime
same,
show.
same. So going on like on your personal like aesthetic, right? So do you think that the aesthetic reflects like how you feel creatively like right now, or is it more of like a persona that you build kind of intentionally?
I mean, I feel like there is some level of intentionality behind it. I think it's like parallel, right? They run parallel,
Mm-hmm.
where I use very like visual, or I have visuals in my head whenever I'm writing music, but they don't manifest into anything like tangible whenever I'm posting online.
Yeah.
All right. But at the same time, I feel like there is some level of intentionality because I mean, I have those aesthetics in my head when I'm writing the music, so I have to have some level of those aesthetics when I'm trying to promote them. You know what I mean? It's they go hand in hand. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm like trying my hardest to be like, oh, I have to be this person online. I have to be this. I'm not trying to like curate like a persona or anything. But I would be lying if I said that it wasn't influenced by those aesthetics because I'm using those influences as or those aesthetics as like a benchmark, a starting point in my head with the sounds I'm creating.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to have some sort of presence when I'm presenting that music.
100%. Yeah, like aesthetics and music kind of I feel like go hand in hand. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like
Even if it's not intentional, they manifest.
mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of like things that you kind of have to go hand in hand when it comes to music. Like it's not like what it used to be, you know, where you would just drop an album like in the 90s, like you'd sign to a record label, drop an album like whatever, right?
Right.
Like now I feel like in order to really be successful, you need to have video editing skills, you need to have production
Yeah.
skills, you need to have advertising skills. Like you need to have so many different types of skills. You can't just be good at making music. And that's
Yeah.
where I feel like a lot of artists don't really see success is when they just like, oh, well, my music is good. I'm like, okay,
Right.
well, how are you going to show people that your music is good? You know?
Yeah, you got to get it out there somehow.
Exactly. Like it's like 10% actually being good at music and like 90% promoting the song.
Yeah, and I'm like very, very like lucky with the audience that I've like garnered,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't post very often, and like I'm like the first to admit that I have to do better about that.
Yeah.
But I'm like extremely, extremely lucky to have gotten like the success that I've gotten so far.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like you need all those skills if you want to like you're basically like presenting your music as like a whole package, right? You have
Yeah.
to hand deliver to the audience for them to decide whether they want to listen to it or not. And if
Mm-hmm.
you don't have those things, like the less you invest into your music to present it to the world, the less likely they're going to be willing to ingest it.
Exactly. Like if you're not proud of it, then who's going to listen to it for you? Like
That's yes, thank you. You got to
yeah.
fuck with yourself first and foremost.
Like like Lucky said, me and myself is my only twin. No, that's not what he said. What did he say? He's like, my brother is just another me, bro. Like that's what he said, bro.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, like exactly. You
I
gotta
get it.
like you
I
gotta
got
be your
it.
own best friend, bro. Like you gotta be like your
For
own hype
sure.
man. You know?
Yeah. If no one else fucks with you, you have to fuck with you.
Exactly. And I think that's also another thing. Like whatever artists that I see online, they're like the thing is like they'll have good music, but like they'll just have nothing pushing it, right? Like they're not pushing like their music. They're not pushing anything.
My bad, bro.
No, not you, dude. I'm not you. I'm talking about like general like more like smaller artists because I'm kind of
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
smaller artist, right? So I kind of see like what's going on in the scene. Like I'm just starting to push my music and already I'm seeing like a huge difference. Like I've already managed to get an audience, right? Like
Yeah,
so like that's just like that alone to me is just like crazy. And it's
for
all it
sure.
takes is just like a little bit of promo, like and just pushing it in the right direction, finding the right audience, finding the right hashtags, and you're
Yeah.
set, dude. Like that's all you need.
Utilize things like the creator, like TikTok creative suite or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
But those like they have like the creator tools. I think that's just what they're called.
yeah,
I didn't even know about them until I mean I knew they were there, I just never like used them. But it wasn't until I started getting with friends and they started showing me like, oh, like you can like look at what's trending, you can look at what like people like who follow you are like watching, and you can like make content around
yeah,
that. Like I didn't know about any of this until literally a few weeks ago. So like you got to use like what's in front of you to actually push your music out to
yeah.
people
And it's
who are
actually
willing
super
to like
worth it.
listen.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
free. Yeah, they just
yeah,
give you that info. Like, dude, you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like the TikTok, like the thing is like checking stats is like so important because it's more than just numbers. Right? I'm talking about like aside from numbers, like a lot of these
Right.
things. It's like okay, like who's watching my videos, right? Is it
Right.
older people, younger people, whatever people?
Your
Who your
demographics.
demographic? Like it all boils down to your demographic. Who is actually
Yeah.
gaffing about your stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what it boils down to, and it's just like that's what it is.
100%.
So yeah, like who do you believe is like your biggest inspiration to your sound?
Like artists?
Yeah, like musical artists, or it could be anything.
Oh, damn. Big question. That's a big second question to ask. I don't know, man. I feel like it has to be. Damn, I don't know. That's a big question because the things that like okay, I have artists that I listen to within my genre that are, I mainly listen to my friends' music, right?
Yeah.
And I use them as benchmarks of like, okay, mixing wise, like I like the way that they mix their drums here. I like the way that they like chop these samples, and like I look to them for inspiration, like on a more genre based outlook, right? Like they're
Hmm.
closer to like the music that I make, and I look to them to like gain inspiration on how I should be moving as far as like, okay, mixing wise, this is where I fucked up my last song. They're doing this song and it sounds really good. How can I
Hmm.
implement something like that into my own personal music in my own personal way?
Yeah.
But then there's also artists that have just like stuck with me over the years who like are not in my genre at all, but I always end up coming back to them when I'm like in a rut. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I don't really know how to answer this.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a specific like artist. You know, some people would be like, yeah, like I grew up listening to so and so, for example, or like the thing is like I'll listen to like the most random song, like the most B side song of the most like unknown artist with like 2,000 monthly listeners. I'm like, whoa, this song is really good.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like okay, like
Yeah.
I like, for example, the bass line. The bass line's super catchy, or I like the
Right.
reverb that they used on the synth, or I like the delay or whatever crap. You know what I mean? It's like there's always
Yeah.
something that like I feel like stands out with like a
For
specific
sure.
song that someone would like release or drop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think then it comes down to growing up, I listened to a lot of like Linkin Park,
Mm-hmm.
Slipknot, like Daft Punk, Portishead, like just
Mm-hmm.
like Moby and stuff.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to a lot of like different genres, and I feel like those are like the ones that closest like are closest to what kind of like sent me down wanting to make music
Yeah.
in general. I mean, like, yeah, I would say like my biggest like inspirations as far as like just like in general, I would say probably Daft Punk and like early Linkin Park, like first three albums
Mm-hmm.
Linkin Park. But then like closer to my genre, I'd say like like I said, I listen to like my friends' music, so like Blacksmith,
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday Never Happened,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm Tyler, like all like very like I say these names and like they're all very like danceable,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't feel like my music is very danceable, but those are the artists that like I always end up coming back to.
Yeah. 100%. And like actually I found out about you through the song that you have with Blacksmith, 60 FPS. And
Oh, dude, I
like I
hate that
think
guy. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
yeah, no, actually I found out about it through that song, and like I
Nice.
was like, whoa, this stood out. And then I listened to Interlinked. That was like the second song. I was
Oh
like,
hell
okay,
yeah! Thank you, man. I
yeah,
just put that's like one of my more recent songs.
yeah, like that's like what like stood out to me personally.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of
And
course.
yeah, no, Blacksmith is the homie. So like we're good friends.
Yeah, yeah. I talked about it on the interview that I had with him, like the whole like 60 FPS thing. So yeah.
Yeah, I have to check it out.
Yeah, so when you start a song, do you normally start with the drums, the melody, the bass? Like what is like what do you normally start with?
It kind of like varies from song to song, but more often than not, it usually is like melodies first and then drums,
Hmm.
and then like I never start with bass. Bass is always like the last thing for me because I'm so bad at like writing bass parts. But yeah, it's always like just melodies, samples, pads, synths first, just to get like a general like idea of where I want like the mood of the song to go,
Hmm.
and then I start like doing drums. Occasionally I'll have like drum parts in my head where I'll like start beatboxing into like my voice notes
Hmm.
just to like come back to it later. But that's like pretty rare.
Yeah.
So yeah, usually melodies first, samples and stuff.
Yeah. No, like that's pretty cool. Like I feel like whenever I ask that question, I always get like a different answer. You know, because like
Yeah.
I feel like everybody starts their process a little bit differently. Like I
Yeah, for
personally
sure.
start with the drums, and then I go
Hmm.
melody, then I go bass. Like that's what I
Right.
do. And then I hear other people like, yo, I start with the bass. Like especially in like the more like complex stroke EDM heavy like kind of
Yeah.
genres, like I feel like people a lot of people start with like the bass. Cause like I feel like
Right.
the star of like the song is the bass. You know, versus
Yeah.
where you like listen to jungle music, it's more likely the ambience, the melody, or maybe the drums. But like the drums is usually just
Hmm.
like some random chop, like amen break or
Right.
whatever break, think break,
Right.
hot pants, whatever. And like that's just what it is.
Mm. Yeah, I feel like I prioritize my drums as far as chops and glitches go.
Mm-hmm.
And I love really like honing in the drums like towards the middle and end of the song. But the main thing that I usually like start with is pads, whatever's gonna help with the ambience and the mood of the song, I guess, versus the drums being like the energy
Yeah,
and like a general like feel of the song. And I usually part of why I don't really have danceable music is because I just chop the shit out of my drums.
yeah. I mean that's just the
Um,
nature of breakcore and stuff. It's just like or whatever,
yeah,
you know, like it's just like it's so choppy. Like it's not exactly like you can't really dance to it, but it's kind of like a specific like it's more punk. I feel like you know what I mean. Like a lot of like
yeah, for
it's
sure.
just like kind of outlandish to the point where it's like, all right, I'm just moshing to this, you know?
For sure. Which is like even when I did kind of like lean more into I wouldn't call it pure jungle. I mean I've never made a pure jungle track in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Um but like the tracks that I had that lean a little bit called coding and
Mm-hmm.
it was a little bit more like laid back like jungle sort of stuff and it's I jungle I when I think of jungle I think of danceable music and it is just like the shit that I made is not danceable.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
I I didn't know how to market it, so I was like, I don't know, man. Just like you can like, this is like music to code to, I guess. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
I mean, that is what it is, you know? Like, I feel like if you find your specific niche and you find the people that enjoy your music, you just market to them, right? Like, that's just
Right.
like one. I feel like the hardest part is like finding that your audience.
Hmm.
You know, like that's the most
Yeah.
important part when it comes to making music. So, like, you'll and the thing is, any song has an audience. Like, you just got to find the right people to listen to it.
Yeah,
Like,
for
it could
sure,
be
for
like
sure.
there's literally noise music, like that exists. It's just like
I know I fucking noise music.
yeah,
I
and I
have
and
friends
I
in
and
noise
I,
band.
I'll not listen to it sometimes, but like you talk to like any like outside person that's not in like into like music
Yeah.
producing, they're like, "What the hell are you showing me?" Right?
Right, right,
Like
right,
that's
right.
just what it is. Like there's
Yeah.
always an audience, is what I mean.
Someone's always yeah, there's someone out there that's gonna listen to you because like regardless of what it is, like they're gonna fuck with your music. You just gotta find them.
Exactly. So like, what DAW do you use?
Um, I use Logic,
Okay,
Logic Pro. Yeah.
nice. So have you always started with Logic, or have you used like any other DAWs before?
I've used a few DAWs before. Sorry, I laugh because it's like the DAWs that I used before were like cheeks, bro. Like, they were
Yeah.
so bad. I've been doing this for a while now. I've been making music since I was in junior high. I want to say like 2007.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first started off, it was I don't even remember what the fucking DAW was called, bro. It was like a $20 like program with like loops and samples in it and shit that I I stole it from Office Depot or Office Max or something like that. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
My mom was there and she was there shopping for supplies and I just like saw it and I put it in my hoodie.
Nice.
And yeah, and I don't even remember what it was fucking called, bro. It was basically just like a glorified like sample library with like a real small like timeline window to just like make really simple like rudimentary beats.
Mm-hmm.
But that got me into it even more, which led into me pirating a version of Mixcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Do not, I mean, Mixcraft is like so like bootleg of a DAW. At least it was when I was using it. I don't know where it's at now. I think I was using like Mixcraft 4,
Mm-hmm.
and I used that all the way throughout high school. And then I went to college for audio, and I started using Pro Tools. Dog, Pro Tools is just so like it is just not for me. I can't really knock Pro Tools because I get that like people use what they gotta use, but it is just not for me whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say like 2014 or 13, I found Logic, and I was like, yeah, this is dumbed down just enough for me.
Yeah. No, I'm a
Yeah,
big Ableton guy. Like I love Ableton. I'm pretty.
dog, you're smarter than me, bro.
Yeah, I
You are
do.
way smarter than me.
Dude, I am an Ableton nerd. Like I'm actually, dude, I love that shit, dude.
Nah,
I love the freaking the plugins. I love the stock plugins that they have. Like best out of
yeah,
any other DAW that I've seen. And I've tried FL. I
yeah.
didn't really like it. Like it just didn't stick with me. I never tried Logic, which is weird because like I have a Mac, so like I feel like
Mm,
Logic should be like a go-to first. But I don't know. And I mean, I tried
nah.
GarageBand when I first started, like using
Yeah,
DAWs and
yeah.
stuff, and it's like okay, like I think it's kind of
I
like
mean,
what it's free.
it's whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's free. Or like when I started producing, I was like also like the eighth grade, but like I never really took it
right.
seriously. I downloaded this like super bootleg website. It was
Mhm.
called Soundtrap. It was called Soundtrap, and like
I've never heard of.
yeah, exactly. And it's basically like 60 loops that you can use, and you can just like arrange it however you want. And like
Yeah, 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 I know what you're
it,
talking
it
about.
was like that, and like I think that's where I got hooked. And then
That's
I
dope.
found Ableton. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm sticking with for like basically the rest of my life.
Yeah, no, you got a bigger brain than me, bro. I opened up Ableton once and I was like, I don't know anything actually. I'm actually kind of a fraud when it comes to music.
I think it's like it's like a curve that like isn't as high as people make it seem. Because like I feel like people already know what every knob does. People are just like once you
Yeah,
figure out what
yeah.
every knob does, then Ableton is just like sauce. Like it just clicks.
Right.
But yeah.
That makes sense. I'm just too like I don't know. I'm just not that I'm like set in my ways. I just like when I was using Ableton, it just didn't feel right, I guess. And
Hmm.
I get that there's like a learning curve and it's like pretty steep, but I was just like I just found myself wanting to come back to Logic just because like it's what I know.
Hmm. Yeah, Logic.
It's like where I'm comfortable at.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like no matter what I try, like it's just not Ableton. You know what I mean? And I totally get it.
Right.
So yeah, like what are your top three VSTs?
My top three VSDs.
Yeah.
Damn. See, okay, this is this is why I say I'm like fraudulent. This is where like the fraud accusations start coming up
Hmm.
because I don't I don't really know. I don't know what to say.
Hmm.
My favorite VSTs are I've used stock VSTs
Hmm. They're
in
still
Logic
VSTs.
for yeah, I use a lot of stock VSTs when it comes to like my music. I always have. Like a lot of the stuff that you hear in Star Trash songs are just stock Logic VSTs. I guess like there's like this one VST in Logic called Alchemy.
Hmm.
And I use that. That's like my main VST that I go to,
Hmm.
and I think it's just really versatile, and I might I might get laughed at because it's a stock Logic VST, but like it works for
Hmm.
me. I'm happy with like the results, and like you get a lot of different controls for what it is. I don't know. I don't even know if I can say top three. I don't even know that many. I mean, I know like obviously like Serum and Contact and stuff. You know what? Actually, so some like real quick Star Trash lore. Before I made breakcore and jungle and like house and stuff, I used to make synthwave music.
Hmm.
And before I made synthwave music, I used to make chiptune music.
Hmm.
And I forgot what the plugin was called. I think it might just be Chip Sounds, but there's a company called Plogue who would take soundboards for like NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, like Atari, all those like Jaguar, like all those old video game soundboards. They'd take them and then basically import them into these VST or into a VST format,
Hmm.
But yeah, no, they take those soundboards and get like those old like Nintendo like chip tune sounds and emulate them directly, like modeling them after those soundboards. And then same with like text to speech stuff like Microsoft Sam and like Speak and Spell.
Hmm.
They used to like model those like Vocaloid sort of sound. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling, but like
Yeah.
if anything, like I don't really like use VSTs like that, other than like stock like samplers in Logic or like Alchemy in Logic, and then like that's just like kind of like if you make chiptune music, if you want those old, I know like a lot of like rage rap uses like sort of like chiptune like Sega sounds as synths. Like if you want like a real sort of synths like that, like old school chiptune video game sounding synths, like you can hit up Plug. I think it's just called Chip Sounds or something
Hmm.
like that. But that's like deep cut. Like I don't really see anyone talking about Plug like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I ask those questions because it's like, what are you using that most people aren't? You know, like, what's like something you'd like to shout out, like a VST, like that you always use? Like, I use like for
Right.
example, Tal Noisemaker, which is like a free VST you can
Mhm.
find, and it's like some random synth with a bunch of presets, but I use it a shit ton. You know, like it just sounds good. I just like it. You know, and
What is it
there's
called?
Tal Noisemaker.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, and like there's Vital, which is also free. It's also like a synth
Okay.
that you can just create. It's basically free Serum. Like it's not as good as
Okay.
Serum, but for what it is, being free, like it's great. You know,
Yeah.
and like
That's sick.
yeah, OTT, like all these other things. Kickstart by Nicky Romero is also a fantastic VST if you like making like four on the floor kind of beats.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, it's a great side chain. Like it's just like stuff like that.
Yeah. There's also I think decent sampler. I don't really use it super often. But it is just like I remember seeing it was like a YouTuber was just making like he'd find like old instruments and like restore them and then use those as those restored instruments or restored synths or something
Hmm.
and then import them into like the samples into his own like VST synth library.
Hmm.
So I mean if you want to check out, I don't remember what the YouTuber was. I don't remember what their name was, but decent sampler. That's another one.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll give him a check out. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, where do you stand on the usage of drum samples and loops?
I mean, I'm fine with them. I use
Hmm.
them, especially because I'd be a hypocrite for knocking people using samples and drum loops and stuff when, my main genre was built off of samples and drum loops.
Hmm.
And like granted, like you can get into like the argument about like it's not like you gotta like do like the work and like crate dig yourself, which I understand and it has validity.
Hmm.
Because like, I still crate dig and I still like find my own samples.
Hmm.
But I feel like especially if you're just starting out, like you have the tools like in front of you, like you should use the tools that are put in front of you, especially when you're like using them for samples like or for genres like house music and jungle music and hip hop, which are all built off of samples.
Hmm.
So I think that I'm personally fine with them. I use them on occasion. As long as you're making them your own and you're not just like drag and dropping, then like I think it's valid. But it is important. I have to emphasize that you make them your own. Because I do hear, top 40 artists and I'll hear like a sample and I'm like, oh, that's just a splice sample and like they didn't do anything else
Oh,
to it.
dude, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Which
hate
like
that, dude.
if you're gonna do that, you gotta make it your own, bro.
Yeah, you gotta do something to it. You
Add
know,
some
like you
sauce.
gotta do. Yeah, you gotta have some sauce. Yes, dude. Yes. Like they do have to. Like, you have to have some sauce, bro. Like I don't like when
Yeah.
people just drag and drop. And like I've talked
No.
about it. I've been pretty open about this. Like I'll like for example like something that's like pretty like whatever. Like if you take a shaker loop from Splice where it's just like the same shaker like 8 in a row, like who cares?
Right.
You know, but if
Right.
it's
Yeah, I
something
do that.
like distinct, right? If it's like
Hmm.
vocals, if it's like a synth or like a bass line and you do
Yeah.
nothing to it, it's just like all right, you know?
Okay. I feel like I've never used like a splice baseline. I feel like
Yeah.
that's kind of cheating.
Yeah, no, I've never used a
And that's
Splice
because
bass line either, but
And that's because like I just admitted earlier in this interview that I am awful at writing bass lines.
Yeah.
I've never used a splice bass line. I feel like that's kind of cheating. That's the line I draw.
Yeah. I mean, literally a good like it's so easy to make a bass line. Just take whatever chord you're doing and then just do the bottom one. Like
Right.
if you genuinely don't know, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like it doesn't need to be like rocket science. Like bass, if you're just doing like a regular thing that's like focused on the melody or focused on the ambience, just do that. You
Yeah,
know, like
that's what I end up doing is I just end up like using the bass line as just like a supplement for the melodies.
mhm,
Like you said, just like a few octaves down and like you should be good to go.
exactly.
But yeah, no, I feel like that's the line for me is
Yeah,
is
like I don't understand it
if
either.
if me not being able to write a decent bass line, I'm still sitting my ass down and like trying my best to figure it out and make it somewhat interesting, then you got to do that too.
Yeah.
Aside from that, vocals like I can understand. Obviously, just chop them up. Maybe not just a drag and drop. You know, like space it out, make it your own. If it sounds good, it sounds good, right? I can't knock something if it sounds good,
Mhm.
but like I would implore people to not just rely on dragging and dropping because you lose not just something that would make it your own, you're also kind of robbing yourself the experience that you learn, the tools and the skills that you earn by not manipulating the sounds that you get. So you're losing out on vital skills that you should be honing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like if you're gonna be using a vocal sample, add something to it that makes it your own.
Yeah.
Chop it up a little bit, like at least alter it in some way. Find your own unique pocket because you're robbing yourself of not being able to do that in the future, or at least like taking the time out to get some of that exercise in. So that way when a different opportunity comes up and you find a sample that you like, but it just doesn't hit right, at least then you'll know, like, okay, it doesn't sound right out of the bag just like this. I'm just dragging and dropping. What can I do with my previous experiences, with previous samples to have it better suit the song?
Mhm. Yeah, I agree
If
with
that
that.
makes sense.
No, I
Yeah.
agree with that. Like you gotta add some sauce. You know, like that's what it boils
Yeah,
down.
exactly.
To have some swag,
Exactly.
have to some sauce. You have to add some creativity. Like the whole purpose of this is to be creative.
Right.
So yeah, like who do you see yourself collaborating with next?
I don't know, man. I don't really like I admittedly need to also be better about approaching people for collaborations because I'm usually the one being approached, not for any other reason other than I just end up not approaching people and when I really should.
Mm-hmm.
It really is just as simple as asking sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had like anyone like that would say yes, I would love to work with someone like Danny Brown. Like
Yeah.
Danny Brown just put out an album of like artists that are, peers essentially.
Yeah, like Femtano, underscores, Symphony, all that.
Yeah, like a bunch of artists like within like similar genres or like
Mm-hmm.
parallel adjacent genres that
Yeah.
like shows that like this artist that I like is willing to work with, other artists that I know
Mm-hmm.
within like my umbrella. Like I'd love to work with someone like him.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, or Cobra. Cobra is cool. I would
Mm-hmm.
love to work with Cobra. She does like some really cool, like just real cunty music.
Yeah.
Um, and then Kavari. Kavari is dope. They're I feel like super dark and chaotic with the music that they make,
Mm-hmm.
but they're just like really really raw. I don't know how else to describe them. They're
Yeah.
just fucking
Kavari's
raw.
sick.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I feel like when it comes to collaborations, it's like super important to kind of get like a good like a best of both worlds kind of scenario. Like it's kind
Mhm.
of like when you listen to a song, you're like, okay, I know who did what. You know what?
Right.
That's what I
Right.
love about collaborations. It's like when you listen to a song, you're like, you can kind of already hear like whose influence did what, and it's like
Right.
super cool whenever I hear that. And like when it comes to like approaching people, bro, it's like it's I feel like it's so easy for me. You know, like
Mhm.
not to like sound like that, but bro, like the worst they can say is no, you know,
Right.
or like
Right.
just not respond. You know, like I think in the last week I've DM'd upwards of like 40 to 50 people. Like when it
Damn.
yeah, like just for either collaborations, interviews, whatever. And it's like you'll get like maybe 5 responses back where it's like they're kind of like interested. 10 responses are like, I'm not down. Like it's just kind of like that, you know. Like
For
it's
sure.
just sales, right? Like that's how I see it. It's like how
Yeah.
effectively can you market your brand to somebody,
Yeah.
and then how receptive would they be of it, and be like, okay, like I'm down to collaborate with you, you know.
Right.
Like if you just shoot a
Right.
DM to like I don't know Playboy Cardi or like I don't know whoever's popping right now, like they're obviously not gonna like want to work with you because at some level like there is some sort of transactional relationship, right? Especially
Yeah.
if you're in like a business industry like this, like if you're not thinking about
Hmm.
your music like a business and you're just not thinking about like becoming
Right.
popular, right? Or
Right.
like not thinking about making money, you're turning this into a career or something. And like I
Hmm.
think that's what's so important is like you have to understand what's in it for like the other person that's on the other like the receiving end. And
Right.
like when you put that into perspective, then you'll see a lot more success,
Yeah. For
especially in
sure.
collaborations. At least that's from what I've experienced personally.
Right. I just need to approach who. I think the last person that I approached to do a collab that like actually like followed through with, I think it was Blacksmith. I think it was the 60 FPS remix, and that was like a long time ago. And like
Nice.
obviously like we've been talking about like other stuff in the future, but we just never really get around to it. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's part of the reason why I don't really like I don't really approach people for collabs is because I get super invested right away,
Hmm.
and then I just kind of like it's the waiting game of like what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? And I like I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I just get you can ask if you ever do a follow up interview with Blacksmith, you can ask him like you can confirm that I'm like one of like the most anxious people ever.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, I think that's part of the reason why I don't really approach people, and I need to be better about it because it's like a like with most social things, it's just like a muscle you got to work out.
Hmm.
But yeah, I do need to be better about approaching people for collabs because there's a lot of artists that I would really love to work with, and it's just like you said, it's just like a matter of asking.
Yeah. Like I feel like when
Yeah.
I first started like DMing people for like interviews and stuff, I was not as smart about it, you know? Cuz like I was like
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily like high in ego. It's more like I was just shooting way above my limit, you know? And I
Hmm.
think honestly like closed mouths just don't get fed. So it's just like you just got to do what you got
Yeah,
to
for
do.
sure.
And like I feel like at some point like where I kind of flawed, where I actually like made some failures, is I took some of the rejections a little too personally in the beginning. You know, when it comes to collaborating,
Yeah,
whether it's like an interview or like music or whatever. And like
yeah, that's understandable.
I think now like how long have I been doing this now? Like 3 months, 4 months,
Hmm.
and like the success and the change that I've seen in just like that time period is so different. Like I kind of view rejections a little differently, like
Yeah, for sure.
because it's like all right, like they're just not down. They have their own personal reason, and that's totally fine.
Yeah,
You know, or
yeah,
they're just busy people. Like people are just living life. You know, like it's
yeah,
just
for
kind of
sure.
like one of those things. So yeah, like how do you feel like music has changed you as a person?
Yeah, it's a big question.
It is.
I feel like to put it as like bluntly as possible, man, like I wouldn't be here without music, you know?
Yeah.
I truly feel like there's like if I don't have this, like what do I got? You
No, I
know?
agree. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's music has always been a part of my life. So I can't even tell you like how music has changed me as a person because I wouldn't be me without it.
Mm-hmm.
There is no me without music, you know?
100%. And I think a lot of like a lot of the same sentiment goes across the board with producers because they've been
Yeah.
surrounded by so much music, whether it's growing up, whether it's personally now, where it's like whatever. Like there's just so much of like it's more than just music, right? Like it's more of like a journey, it's like a everything, you know?
Right. Right. For sure.
It's super weird. Whenever I ask that question, I always get like a bunch of different responses because it's like the thing is like nobody has had like the same experience when listening to music.
Yeah.
Like there's people that like yeah, like it literally saved my life. Like I was gonna like commit and then like songs like have genuinely saved me, you know?
Yeah, a
And
hundred
like
percent.
that
Time and time again.
and like that's just like one of those things where it's like you don't necessarily like ever know like what someone is going through and they can just listen to a song, really like it, enjoy it, and then just it just changes their life.
Yeah, no, there's whole albums like that for me where I'm just like, damn, this is it for me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
this is like if it wasn't for this album or this song or whatever,
yeah,
like I wouldn't make it to tomorrow.
yeah, exactly. And I feel like my sentiment isn't necessarily as strong, like, but it's more like, damn, like this album is so good. Like, I love
Yeah,
everything about this album. Like, it just resonates. The lyrics, the production, the art, like the everything about it. Again, it's like also
yeah.
advertisement, like how the album looks, how they
Hmm.
promoted it. Like, you're also part of the experience, especially if it's a newer album. Like, that's what makes it so cool, like
Yeah,
about music. Like
for
it's a
sure.
whole experience.
For sure.
So, what is your favorite and your least favorite song that you've ever made?
Damn, I feel like there's least favorite songs don't get don't get published.
Yeah, of
Like
course,
I don't put out my least favorite songs.
of course.
All of my least favorite songs are sitting right here on my hard drive.
Hmm.
Um, but if it has to be like one of the ones I've published, I'd say like obviously like just anything like older. Like I put out a whole synthwave album from like 2017, and I don't ever go back and listen to that minus like maybe one song off that album.
Yeah.
But like I hear back a lot of like it doesn't have to be that old, like a lot of like even like more recent songs. Um, I'll just hear them back and I get really like embarrassed.
Hmm.
Because it's just I hear like a lot of mistakes that I've made
Yeah.
or like things that I would never do like
Today.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think my favorite song of mine, I it's hard to like really pick one specific one because I'm like a very firm believer of like an artist should make music for the artist. Like
Yeah.
I'm only gonna make music for me and me alone. And if
Yeah.
people fuck with it, then people fuck with it. But like
Exactly.
I drop whatever I would personally listen to.
Hmm.
So it's hard for me to pick one specifically. But I usually find myself coming back to like Smokescreen. I think it might be like my most listened to of like my own songs or like like Lan
Hmm.
maybe. I'm really proud of Dreaming in Binary, the first one, and I put out a song with or I did a remix for Boy 2000.
Hmm.
I did like a remix for one of his songs, and pretty proud of that one.
Hmm.
Ended up coming back to that one. I don't know. It's hard to pick one, but those like I think like the main four or five that I listed. I think those are like the ones that I end up coming back to the most. And then the least favorite, just I don't know. Maybe some of the stuff from like my earliest album from like 20 like the synthwave stuff or maybe even like when I first started like trying to make breakcore, I was kind of like being all over the place. So I think that Neural Net EP from 2021 was kind of rough and like I don't really come back to that at all really. Even like the more popular so I think Neural Net the song off of the EP um that's like the song that like low-key changed my life
Hmm.
because it's got like almost 500,000 plays or something like that, and it's
Yeah.
what like really like got me on playlists and started getting eyes on me. But I can't even listen to that song because I'm just like, damn, I would not put the song out today.
Today. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing though. Like, I feel like a lot of people also just genuinely shit on like their like they just genuinely hate like their most popular song because it's
yeah.
popular. I don't know. Like it's like a thing that I see all the time. Like they just can't listen to it
No,
anymore.
I didn't. My most popular song is Data Transfer,
Oh
and
yeah.
I actually really love that song.
So yeah, like when it comes to like dropping songs and stuff, it's like I feel like a lot of people have different perspectives on like oh like my favorite song that I've made is like the most popular one or like the least
Hmm.
popular one,
Hmm.
or it's like usually sometimes I'll hear like the most recent one because like people are like, yeah, it's like the most accurate representation of who I am now, which makes sense, right? So it's like,
Right,
so you'll get like a whole different set of like um different perspectives on like, okay, like why do you feel like this song is the better one, for example. But it's so
right,
interesting to hear like how artists perceive the popularity on their songs and how they react to it, because I feel like
right.
everybody reacts to their most popular song differently.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
No, I'm proud of the popular songs that I've garnered. It's hard. I don't want to sound like an asshole and be like I'm not happy with the popularity or the songs chosen, I guess,
Hmm.
by the people to like come back to. It just comes down to like there's like a few songs that I'm just like not 100% happy with, and they just happen to be popular songs.
Hmm.
Wish I could like go back and like maybe do them a little bit better.
Yeah. So yeah, do you have a plan to release an album anytime soon?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
There was a an album that I've been working on for a long time, like years and years, and it's just constantly being like put on the back burner,
Hmm.
and I just never ended up like committing to it. So I have
Hmm.
a whole album just kind of sitting on my computer, but I don't even know if it's like the right time or aesthetic or mood that I want to commit to at this time.
Hmm.
So I've in like the past year and a half or so, I started doing a whole other album. So I'm hoping that it comes out sometime this year. I'm not gonna try and put like a hard deadline on it
Hmm.
because then I know, knowing me, I'm not gonna commit to that.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping sometime this year it comes out.
Okay. I'm excited actually. That sounds kind of like fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right, and then a final question that I've got for you is that is there
What's up?
if there's like if there's
Oh, good.
if there's any piece of advice that you would give like a new producer or artist, what would it be?
Make music for you.
Mhm.
Like it's so easy to want to like fall into like the sounds that you hear and what you think is gonna do well in an algorithm or whatever, or what you think that your peers are gonna like, or what you think artists that you want to be like would like. Just make music for you. Like there's no other you but you,
Mhm.
and you're gonna end up putting your own spin on your sound that's unique. So just commit to that. Like don't if you would put your music on in your car, you won, bro. That's it.
Mhm.
You already won. You
Mhm.
know, you don't. If you're an artist, like a painter, and you would hang up your own piece in your own home, you won.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
Yeah,
Is that you got to make sure that your music is listenable to at least at the bare minimum yourself.
exactly. If you're not proud of you, then like if you're not proud of the stuff that you put out, then
Nobody
you're
is.
gonna have a very unfulfilling
Exactly.
career.
Yeah, if you're not proud of the stuff that you put out, then nobody's going to be proud of it for you, you know?
Right. Right.
That's just the truth.
Yeah. Or worse, you put out something that you're not proud of and you actually get money out of it, and now you're stuck making music that you don't fuck with, and you're just unfulfilled.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're gonna step away from like the music heavy questions. I've had like five like smaller, more personal questions that I've put at the end of the
Okay.
interview. All right, so the first question that I kind of had down is, what is something that you nerd about, like you nerd out about, that's like not related to music?
I I build Gundams. I play games. I don't know, man. Like I feel like it's all stuff that like, people in my genre already like are on
Yeah,
as far as like, oh yeah, like I watch movies, I play video games, and I build Gundams. Those are like
yeah.
the main three things that I see artists in my genre kind of doing. I don't know. I guess I'm also into like okay, I collect fragrances. I
Oh,
collect like clones and perfumes and stuff.
nice. Hold on, before we go
Yeah,
into
that's like
fragrance, what's a Gundam?
a Gundam is like it's a giant robot.
Oh, no way.
They're yeah, they're model kits that you can just build at home, and then you just display them. Yeah, that's pretty much it. They're just
That's
like
cool.
it's like a yeah, they're robots based off of the Gundam anime, and you just get kits, you build them, you display them. I
Hmm.
mean, you can play with them if you want to, but I just have them in like a giant display case.
Oh, that's sick. Oh yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what that was, but yeah,
Yeah,
fragrances is
actually,
sick. Go on.
yeah, the picture that I use for like my socials of that giant robot,
Hmm.
that's a Gundam.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
I never
But yeah,
really
we'll stick
paid
with that.
attention to it. Like I noticed it, but I was like I don't think the reference clicked.
Right, right. No, yeah, that's like one of my main things is just that video games and fragrances.
Nice. Do you watch
Yeah.
Jeremy Fragrance?
No, but I have a friend who is always comparing me to him
Yeah.
because I'm always like every time my friend comes over, I like show them like whatever new fragrances I got because I have a fuck ton,
Hmm.
and they just tell me like you gotta start like making like a review channel of all these fragrances, and I do have like a super secret like fragrance review Instagram burner, but no, I don't know about doing like Jeremy fragrance level stuff.
Yeah, that whenever I hear people like talk about fragrances, like the first thing that pops up is like Jeremy fragrance, or like that one
Yeah.
kid, like that, like was he like 14 or whatever? It's like this little kid. He's like, check out this
Mhm.
new fragrance, and it's like he like spray like 500 like sprays.
Oh hell nah, bro. You're flushing money down the toilet when
I
you do
know.
that,
I mean,
man.
it's all for like it's for social media. Like it's super obvious, but
Yeah, for sure,
it's
for
like
sure.
super funny.
Yeah. No, I don't have money like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So what's your dream car?
I have like a standard answer and then like a not so funny or like a not so like cool answer.
Whichever you
My
prefer.
my standard answer is like a Lancer, right? Like a Mitsubishi Lancer.
Nice.
I feel like that's like you play like Need for Speed, like that's if you don't like my go-tos in Need for Speed were always like an Eclipse or a Lancer.
Mm-hmm.
But my not so cool answer is it's a Hyundai Tiburon. Super like not cool car. It looks sick, but like it's you can't drift on it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like not good specs, so you can't race it. It just looks cool.
Mm.
So that's literally it.
I don't think I don't think I've seen like the Hyundai cars.
Yeah, the Hyundai Tiburon. I don't know what it is about it. I think just like growing up, like my dad would always point them out whenever we were driving,
Uh huh.
and I thought they were sick. And like they're not fast, but you can't drift them. You can't even like tune them up really, but they look dope.
I'm gonna like look up what they look like after the interview.
Okay.
Hell yeah. All right. Next one is if you could move to any other country in the world, which would it be and why?
I feel like a few years ago I would have said Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like now since like that idea is becoming more and more realistic, I don't know. Like I genuinely do not have any clue about because like if you asked me a few years ago, it would just be like, oh, like my ideal like life in Japan, right? And it was just like a daydream. But now I am starting to take it kind of more seriously, and I have to like look into like rent and like employment and stuff.
Yeah.
So I genuinely do not have any idea. Probably China.
Yeah. Oh, China's beast. Yeah, we were just talking
Yeah,
about China earlier in the interview.
yeah. So that's probably what it would end up being.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And then final question to end off the interview is what is the most useless fact that you know?
The most useless fact I know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. All the facts I know are pretty useful.
Mm-hmm. Or
Okay.
whatever fact you feel like sharing.
No, I got one that's like super like why do you even know that? In the movie The Prince of Egypt
Okay.
from DreamWorks.
Okay.
I think that movie is like a damn near perfect movie. The last shot of the movie, there's like the last like 2 seconds of the movie. There's like an animation error where you see like Moses and like all like the people that he saved behind him, and his wife Zipporah is right next to him. For the,
Mm-hmm.
like in the last 2 seconds of the movie, or her arm gets clipped out by her dress,
Mm-hmm.
and then it comes back in, and it's just that's it. That's like the most like why the would you even know that? That's
Mm.
it. Like just that there's an animation error in like the very very last 2 seconds of this perfect movie.
Yeah, now I'm gonna have to like look that up.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, dude.
It's most useless fact I know.
Yeah, I would agree. Like I don't feel like I look into movies that much. I feel like I should get
Yeah.
into movies, you know, like
Mm.
they're so culturally relevant. I just have the attention span of a goldfish, so it's like you're telling me to see
Yeah.
something that's longer than like 10 minutes. I'm already
No,
like
I fucking love movies. I get that too. I used to have I used to go to the movies with like my dad and other friends, and like they'd
mhm,
like fall asleep or be on their phone, and like I get it. Like it's like a commitment to like sit there in the dark for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. But
mhm.
like once you lock in, like you like there's some really beautiful movies out there. Oh, another useless fact. in the movie Chasing Amy, when homie's confessing his love to homegirl in the rain, they're walking along on the outside, and they're in like I think like Jersey, and the cameraman comes out in like one of the reflection of the mirrors, and like his whole like the whole camera crew's in the reflection of the mirror while Ben Affleck is walking back to his car. That's another
No
useless
way.
fact. Yeah.
Lamau. Yeah, I see. Like, there's like so many like random useless facts. Like I remember like there was like this one thing that was like floating around where it was like someone left like their mug in like a Star Wars, uh,
Oh yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
a Star Wars movie. I forgot which one. Like there was like a mug that they
Also,
forgot.
the water bottle in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
still
stuff like
released
that.
it, which is super funny.
hmm Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that that I'm like truly like it's like a like who cares, but at the same time like like me, bro, I care.
It's just funny because it's like proof that a human made it.
Yeah, exactly,
You
exactly.
know, dude. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, of
It's been a
course.
pleasure having you on. This interview
Likewise,
has
likewise.
been an hour 45 almost. It's pretty
Damn.
funny. Yeah. But I mean, I'll take care of it post editing. Just like
Right, right, right.
but like I've been doing these interviews so long. I think like there's a lot of change that I've done like in the past
Mm.
versus I feel like I'm more I know what to ask now and like I've gotten better. You know what's funny? I had an interview that I did with somebody where the guy I'm just saying it was Wizard. I had an interview with Wizard and he was like, "Bro, like ask me more questions." He's like and he sent me like 5 questions. He's like, "Bro, like ask these in your next interviews. They're like really good questions." And I'm like, "Oh shit. All right, bet." And like
I was gonna say like these are like really solid questions. Like I had to
yeah.
like really sit here and think.
Yeah, like I used to have like maybe like 10-ish questions. Like if you look at my old interviews, they used to be like 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
And like I was just like kind of new starting out, like either the music would be too loud or like my voice would be too quiet, like my voice would be too loud. Like there's always like little like nitpicky things. Like I nitpick super hard on like a lot of my older interviews and it's just like I think it never ends cuz like I don't know what it is, but and then
No, you're gonna end up always being like
your
your
own biggest
biggest
critic.
critic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the
Which is
truth.
a good thing. It
It
just means
is.
that you care.
Yeah. Like it is. It's true. And like I remember like that wizard interview that I did like kind of changed my perspective like a little bit. Cuz it was like, oh
Mm.
shit, like maybe I wasn't asking the best questions. So I
Right.
sat there and I rewrote like a good like third of like the questions that I had and I added like follow-up questions to it was just like super cool. Like
Yeah.
I love every single interview that I've done because I feel like every interview that I do like changes my perspective just a little bit.
Yeah, it teaches you something.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
and like that's
And again,
why,
that just means that you care.
yeah, and like that's why I love having people on. You know,
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think you're doing great.
thank you.
This is like legit. I haven't done like a ton of interviews or anything, but I've done enough to know that this is the best one that I've done. You know what I
Well, I
mean?
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Like I hope you have a good day, dude.